Okay, so today I'm going to show you how we can use Generatepress Premium to customize our blog heading and just our blog area in general. So we'll see here, I've got this blog post, why local SEO is important. I've just got some placeholder. It's very plain. I don't like how large this featured image is, so I'm going to cut this all the way back. I'm just going to make it a lot tidier and a lot more professional in general. So let's get started on that. So like I said, for this, you want to have the Generatepress theme installed, Generateblocks, and you will need Generatepress Premium for this. You don't need the paid version. So we come into Appearance and Elements, and we can add a new element. We want to select Block, hit Create. And this element type is going to be a content template. And the location that we'll select here is the all singular. So now we can just start populating it. So let's give it a title first. Got a single post. And then we can add that featured image. So we've just added an image here. And then if we come to the right hand side, enable dynamic data. Let's enable that. The data source is the current post, that's correct. And then we can use the featured image as the image source. And we'll just set the height here. So I want it quite small, and we can set this to cover. Then if we click the image, we can hit return, slash, and let's add a headline. And this will just be the title of our post. So again, we can click this icon here for dynamic options, dynamic text type, and we will select the title of the post. We don't want to add a link or a prefix here, we'll just leave that as it is. I'll open up the navigator here just to make it a wee bit easier. So next, I'm going to want to add the author area and also the date. So this is a wee bit different. We hit return again. And this time, let's add a container. Inside of that, I'm going to actually add a grid, and it's going to have two columns. So for the first one, this is actually just going to be the date. So I'll add a headline again, and I'll make this a paragraph. And then we can click here, dynamic options, just like we did before. And this is going to be the post date. We can set the data type to either the published date or the updated date. I'm going to do something a bit different. I'm going to have it as the published date, and then if the post has been updated after it was published, it will replace it with the updated date. We can set a prefix to either. What I'm going to do is set it for the updated to be updated on. So for example, if this post was published on the 5th of June, it would show the 5th of June 2023. If it was then updated on the 10th of June, it would show updated on the 10th of June. So that's the way I want it to be. Then over in this other container, in the second column, I'm going to add another headline. Again, I'll set it to be a paragraph, and I will set the dynamic data to the author, author name. And I don't want anything else here. So that's fine. Now I did make one error here. This location actually, that is going to be all singular pages and posts. This should actually be post, and we can leave it as all posts. So just a wee insert there. The one thing that we're missing here is if we select the container with the grid, press return again, and add dynamic content. Just because this is a content template for the articles, we're going to need to remember to insert the actual post content. So let's do that here. And this will be the content relating to the actual article. Now I did say I wanted an image here as well. Click the three dots on this post author name headline and insert before. And I will select a dynamic image. And this will be the author avatar. Now these are sitting on top of each other. This is just because of the container layout settings. So what I'll do is I'll come into the layout of the container and I'll just change that to flex. And you can see now they're sitting in line. But I'll add a little bit of space in between them. So I'll just set the column gap and I'll just set that to 20 pixels just to space them out a little bit. That's great. Now, why don't we publish this? And now if we come in, you can see here it's all been added. Obviously it needs a bit of a cleanup. There needs to be some spacing. So let's go back in and we'll clean it up. But we can see here all the data is getting pulled through as it should be. So I'm going to use this container here, which is right above the content. And I'll just add a bit of a margin below it. I'm going to make that a margin of 75 pixels. What I'm going to do as well is I'm going to add this all to a single container. And that's actually a great idea. And I should have done that to begin with. So I can grab everything here by holding shift and selecting everything and just drag them into this container. Now I can set some padding or margins for the entire content, and that will just help me space this out from the sidebar. I'm going to set 25 pixels of padding to the right hand side, and I'm going to add a bit of a margin to the top. That will just give me some breathing room between the image and my navbar. You can see here now we've got a bit more breathing room. We might want to add a little bit more, but I'm quite happy with this for now. I actually don't like how this image is looking. It's very stretched, and if we want to fix that, what we'd be doing is adding some custom CSS. Alternatively, we could just use the Generateblocks image. So I'm just going to remove this, and again I'll add the 3 dots. I'll click the 3 dots. I'll click Insert Before, type image and use the blue image option, which is the Generateblocks. I'll then enable dynamic data on the side. Data source is the current post, and the image source is the author avatar. Then I can just declare the width and height on these easy options here. So I'll just save that as 50 by 50 pixels. Refresh, and that's a lot nicer. I've decided though that I want my avatar image to be rounded. So what I'm going to do is click the image. I'll then go into spacing. I want to use the border radius here on the right hand side, but I'm going to set it by percentage rather than pixels. I'm going to click this link sides option, and I'm just going to set the percentage value of the border radius to 50%, and that'll ensure that it's rounded. Let's click update. We'll come back into the article and we'll refresh. And now I've got a nice rounded avatar. That's a lot better than the default version. I'm quite happy with that. I hope you found the video useful. I hope you were able to learn something about Generatepress. If you got stuck or you need some assistance with setting any of this up, feel free to just reach out in the comments and I'll do everything I can to help you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.